the Weddings by Annabel podcast. This is the whys, not just the whats, behind weddings. Based in the UK's Cumbria and the Lake District, me and others invite you to join a conversation about the highs and lows, the delights and the concerns faced by anyone planning a wedding. Hi and welcome to the Weddings by Annabel podcast. Da, 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 da. I am very, very chuffed to have with me today Felicity Ashby, makeup artist, joining me to talk about wedding team. The wedding team, not the wedding party, the wedding team. Felicity has worked in the makeup industry for around 10 years, is going through a rebrand at the minute, which is very exciting.
It is. It's very exciting.
Yeah. And some lovely kind of nuggets of information about Felicity and her brand is she wonderfully uses the terms a joyful and creative experience. Yay.
Yeah.
That so resonates. I mean, all of the weddings should be, but especially when you are face to face with somebody, literally.
Yeah, it's going to be different, really. Yeah, absolutely.
Then, yeah, this should be. And your summary of what you do, the timeless and luxury element to enrich our lives, not overwhelm or exclude. I flipping love that. Love it.
I know. The makeup world can be so intimidating, and there's no reason for it.
No.
And so I just, especially the brides that tend to book with me are people who don't really do makeup a lot themselves. And then quite often they're always like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not very good at makeup. Don't apologise. You don't need to be.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to be. Like, makeup's an added extra. It's not a necessity.
Yeah, this is a nice thing. Yeah. Relax into it. Enjoy it. Yeah, definitely. Firstly, you've also got a degree in journalism, which this is always a fascinating topic to me because journalism and now makeup. Explain.
Yeah. You're not really two that you think would necessarily go together quite organically. But yeah, I always loved writing and stuff when I was growing up, and I knew I wanted a degree mainly because my older sisters had a degree. And I felt like I had to do it to prove it that I could do it, even though I'd started makeup way before I even went to university. But I just wanted something else to open more doors. Yeah. I was a double English literature student and language student at A-levels. Just love words, essentially. Yeah. And it kind of basically has, I'd say, trained my thought process in a way that I wouldn't have expected, but it means that I like to just get to the bottom of things, and I like to really research things. So even in makeup, you can translate that aspect into makeup. So okay, well, why do I do makeup this way round? Okay, why is this technique going to be better for this client and than this client? All of that type of stuff.
To investigate
those questions. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Investigative journalism is essentially what I did my actual dissertation on.
Nice.
So yeah. Nice. But yeah, it's strange. They do actually link together really well, and that's why I've rebranded, because I need to integrate them better, because that's the two things that I love doing. So
and you happen to be very good at it. Yay!
Yeah, I don't know if I've even explained that very well at all. But
no, I get it.
Yeah.
I think that kind of delving deep, not just doing, not fitting a format, ticking a box, delving deep into it, that is great. That's a really nice approach to it. Yeah. And I think there's so much about the people element in there, actually wanting to get to know people and why are we doing this? Yeah. Why am I even here? Why are you here? Why have you picked me? Why are you bothered about this? Why are we doing it this way? Rather than just, well, this is the way I always do it.
Exactly. asking questions is,
Yeah.
ultimately how you get the best results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So this whole episode, as I mentioned, is about the wedding team, not the wedding party. So I I find that when I'm talking to clients and the phrase wedding party to me is it's not enough. So I'm purposely trying to adjust it bit by bit, little old me going, no, yes, you are having a party. I get it. But the wedding party, it sounds a bit too non-important for me. Whereas actually, I find that the people around you, those core people, so we're talking initially, it is your bridesmaids, maid of honors, ushers, groomsmen, best men, parents, key people. That's the personal team. Those people have a massive influence on the planning and on the day. We also, wedding team for me is also the suppliers like us, the other faces, the other people that are in the mix. And again, in the run up to and at the event itself. So we've got these key groups and their impact, their influence, I feel is so massive. And people talk about it a lot, but not, I don't find that people talk about why this is important. You
Yeah.
know, it's a lot about how to choose the right people. No, but why is it important to choose the right people?
I
That's more
know.
interesting, right?
The term wedding team as well, it just seems so much more purposeful,
Yeah.
like, really considered. And that is essentially, I will be adopting this phrase because the wedding
Yay.
team, it makes so much more sense.
Yeah. They
And
have an
as
influence.
we talk about it, obviously it will
Yeah.
make sense a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just who are the people around you that are going to make your day incredible? Be
Yeah.
really purposeful about who you're choosing, who you've got with you to make
Exactly.
it all easier and more
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I bring this up, who who is the wedding team? Yeah. Why? Why are they around? So for me, if we stick to the personal wedding team, so the bridesmaids, the ushers, the those kind of that set of people, for me, in a very general term, they are your support. That is their essential role. Never mind the traditional, the best man will look after the wedding rings and the maid of honor will floof the dress. Oh, yeah, boring, boring. No, beyond all of those, they are the support. They've got you. Yeah. Um, I tried to put it down to if you could have, um, if in the selection process, if it's not as easy, if you're kind of struggling to pick who those people are, I summarized it down to three elements, three types. Um, One is having a carer, a feeler, the person who is going to get soppy at the right moments, is going to make sure that you've ticked off those kind of emotional boxes as well, who is making you mindful of those lovely emotions, the nuggets that happen through the day that you should be brought back to. You know, don't forget you're in this because it's a lovely day.
Yeah.
You know,
People that are going to keep you in the moment.
yeah,
Yeah. Centered. Yeah.
yeah, those ones. Somebody should be. In an ideal world, you'd have somebody who is that carer. And then funny. It is underestimated how much yes, you're ticking off all these boxes and you've got all these things going on around you. But if you can have a laugh in the process, I mean, we're built in that if we if we laugh and smile, it releases hormones. Like that's how powerful this stuff is.
Yeah.
Having somebody to make you laugh in that moment. Oh,
It sets such a good atmosphere, and
yeah,
it lifts the room,
doesn't it?
There's so many emotions like that are hanging about on a wedding day, and having someone that can just be jolly with it, like,
Yeah.
is so,
Lighten the mood. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And no, I don't mean this in a kind of, they need to be a comedian. I don't mean it in a, it's they need a spotlight for that. It can be subtle. It can be silly. It can be tiny little things, but it enough to just break any tension or any stress. It's a
Yeah.
powerful influence.
I feel like I see, especially when someone sits down in the makeup chair, you really see them kind of go into themselves and start worrying because they can't, when they're having their makeup done or hair as well, they have to just be still
Yeah.
and let someone else do their job. So that's kind of when you'll start going into your head and think about all these things. And
Yeah.
quite often you can see it happening with their body language, their shoulders are going to start raising up, and you're thinking, okay, do you want to do I think of a funny moment? Or what's even better is if someone else is mindful and watching and thinking, oh, okay, I've seen they're going into themselves a little bit now. So
Yeah.
what can one of the wedding team members say to them to bring them out of it, bring them back into the room? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I do it. So the moment when I talk to clients about when they're just about to go into the ceremony, that kind of like pinnacle moment, ultimate pressure. Oh my God, it's about to start. This is it. And I warn them at the very beginning of the process, and I go, I'm going to go weird. I'm going to go weird at you. Like, what? Like, no. When that moment hits, and like you say, that so well put, that kind of, you can see that tension rise and it comes up to the surface and they're feeling all the emotions and are getting too overwhelmed. I have been known to be weird to make them laugh. I've stood in the little entrance hallway bit to a church and I make innuendos. I'll tell silly jokes. I've been known to sing a weird song. I'll pull faces,
I love to
like
hear it.
whatever I can do.
Yeah.
Like I might go weird. If you are the type that needs that, some of them have been like blooming raring to go. I'm on it. Like, get me down that aisle. I'm
Yeah.
like, great, let's do this. But sometimes it can take a second and I see them change and you go, oh no, don't
Mm,
lose it. Don't,
yeah.
you
Because
know,
so much pressure on the day as well.
yeah,
And they will, when they think back and they think, oh God, I was just frozen in time. Like, I can't even remember that moment.
yeah,
They'll regret it, So
yeah.
you have to keep them mindful, keep them
Like,
in it.
come on, back in the room, back in the room.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
was a time when one of my brides a few years ago, I did know her previously. She was one of my sister's friends. So we had that personal connection before. I wouldn't necessarily do this with every single person. But yeah, I could tell she was just getting so nervous. And so one of her bridesmaids was coming up behind her, and I just said, oh, can you just have a look at this for me? I'm not really sure if I've put the bright yellow in the right place. And her face was just like, what? And then I'm joking, you look beautiful, like here's the mirror. And then she's like, oh, brilliant, fantastic, right? And you have to pick your audience.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But if you've
definitely.
done well, oh, it just, yeah. And
Yeah.
it definitely made her made her be like, oh, okay, right, it's fine, chill.
Yes, I am human again.
Exactly.
I am present. Everything is okay with the world. People are making jokes. That means that nothing bad is happening. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, having a nugget of humor in there, somebody to lighten that mood, I think is really important. Um, then there's having a problem solver. Now, I feel quite kind of nervous about this element because I've seen the good and the bad side of this. So a good problem solver is somebody who is predicting a problem, doesn't air it, doesn't talk about it, just gets on quietly and fixes it, or overhears something and calmly steps in and takes that problem away. That kind of problem solver, bloody brilliant.
Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
other side, which I'm sure you've witnessed because I've definitely seen it a lot, is the ones who actually, they like the spotlight of, I fixed a problem. I've done that. Don't you worry, because I fixed that. That type of problem solver, no. We don't need to know about the problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't make it about you.
Yeah. You are not the saint here. Just go and do it. Well done, and feel good internally about how wonderful you are. But this is not the space to be patted on the back. That makes sense?
Absolutely. It really does. Yeah. I feel like I've said absolutely so many times. But no, I agree with everything you're saying. It's that, and essentially that's really so much of your job,
Yeah.
but not just having, obviously that person can be a professional,
Yeah.
but obviously they can also be a friend or family member.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Someone that if out the window you can see, oh, outside they're not setting up the bandstand or whatever quite how I wanted. Oh, quite, who do I call? Oh, I don't know if anyone's got the phone on them. Then that person, don't worry, I'm on it. And they'll just nip out the room. You can see them running down, sorting it out, but it's done,
Yeah. And I suppose there's a lot of kind of faith that has to be put into that person. You have to, that person, you've got to have that trust that when they do say, I'm going to fix the problem, that doesn't then generate more worry for you. You're not like, oh God, like, mum's gone off to go and sort that, but she doesn't know about this, this, and this. So I'm going to have to step in at some point. Or actually, Auntie Joan has gone and done that, but I know it's going to make her stressed. So now I am stressed.
Yeah.
It's all well and good having people that are kind of on it and productive and, can spot those problems. But if they are not calm about it, if it's then going to have negative repercussions, that is not the right person.
Yeah. You don't want it to make more burdens for you, and you don't want to feel guilty. You don't want to,
problem solving with a flap. Not great.
No, that's not problem solving.
No. No. We don't want those ones. We want like you say, I'm on it, I'm there. Don't think about this anymore. Chill. Yeah, I think, careful choices. But if you can tick off those three, I think you've then got a really good balance in your team.
Yeah.
Another thing that before this we're chatting about the setting up, so the preamble to picking a team, to getting them all geared up for the day. In my chats, I often say there's a lot about wedding planning that I don't need to advise on because it's the fun bits. Yeah. I don't advise them about their hair and makeup. That is not my job. I don't know enough. I mean, just look at me and I don't know enough. But that when it comes to the attire or the all of the beauty elements to your team, so I am talking specifically about bridesmaids, really, choosing their kind of outfits and what you're doing for them, all well and good. It can get very stressful. I know that. I've seen it a million times over. What dresses are they going to wear? What color are they going to wear? how's the hair going to be? Are they liking that? What shoes are they going to wear? All of these things. And say my go-to phrase is, I'm really sorry, but nobody actually cares about your bridesmaids and groomsmen.
Yeah.
You do, and that's great because they are your go-to people. Brilliant. Once they've walked down the aisle and they've stood there in all their finery, they are then just a guest. Like, no, all eyes are on the bride and groom. They are the
Yeah.
celebrities of their day. So all eyes are on them. So if you can do anything for your team, is make sure that they are comfortable and confident. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah. It sounds abrupt, but at the end of the day, yeah, you care about them, but in the grand scheme of the day, they don't make that much difference. You know, if they're going to kick off about what colour dress you've decided to choose or what style or whatever, you know, I think they just have to be brought back down to earth. It's not your day. Like
Yeah.
it, I don't want to be horrible. I'm sorry that you're not maybe going to feel your best, but it's not your day to feel your best.
Yeah. You
It's
are in this to enjoy
okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, if a bride and groom can go through a thought process to go, I want to make sure that these wonderful people in my life are comfortable and confident, that ripple effect will be huge.
It makes such a difference. Yeah, the right mindset. Yeah.
Because I think everybody will have, anybody who's ever been to a wedding has witnessed somebody who their shoes are hurting them, or
Mm,
they've got wardrobe malfunction, you know, the suit's too tight, or the dress keeps slipping, or something, you know,
yeah.
and you can feel it. Something's up.
Yes.
It's in the room, isn't it? They will talk about it. They will look uncomfortable. They will act uncomfortable.
Mm,
Therefore, that that negative energy will spill out.
yeah.
And
Even if they don't intend it to.
yeah,
No. Yeah.
yeah, it's there. So I think comfortable, confident. Focus on that, not they need to be matching or they need to be in this or they have to be in there. There is no rules.
Yeah. There doesn't have to be any rules.
No.
I think also, especially just going back to colour a little bit,
Mm.
if you love this colour and you want everyone to wear this colour and you're happy with that, that's what matters. If your wedding team is then having a problem, then that's when you can go to your suppliers at the end of the day, right? So a lot of what I do, especially, is with colour, right? So
Mm.
some bride might come to me and say, okay, everyone's in this colour dress, and some of my bridesmaids aren't that happy. And I said, don't worry, because makeup can change things. If they don't necessarily think sage green is their colour, don't worry about it, because I can, warm them up a tiny bit with the makeup, like still make them feel comfortable, feel themselves. But when they've had the hair done, the makeup done, they're in the dress, they will feel completely different on the day than
Yeah.
what they've just tried the dress on in bad lighting in the bedroom, wherever, and they've not got the hair done, they've not got the makeup done. Obviously, the dresses are going to look great, right?
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
day, everything will be fine. And your suppliers and your industry professionals who you've hired to help you with your day, they will make it right for everyone, but
Yeah.
especially the couple, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, these wedding team members might start to flap a bit.
Yeah.
And I know you care about them, but just trust that everything will work out okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lean on those around you to take on managing them if it is spiraling. So there'll be people listening to this and they're like, oh my God, I've already picked my team and they're already being a complete pain. What do I do next? It's like, right, now you get professionals in who have been there, done that, learn from them, take some guidance, because there's no point learning the lessons yourself and after it's done. Like, tough.
Yeah.
So do reach out. Go, I'm struggling with this. I'm ask the questions, isn't it? Ask the questions. My bridesmaids are in a flat because I want them to wear burnt orange, yet they hate it. What can I do? Right. Will you speak to your hair, your makeup, or somebody like me and go, what do I do next? How can I help this situation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? It, why?
Asking
Why?
those questions to get to the bottom of it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot.
We've seen it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other part of all of this is the fact that, again, going back to the kind of the personal team, I've even in my own circumstances, there a lesson learned, as we've just mentioned, is the team that you have around you. I think you need to think about the longevity of those relationships. Those people, don't pick them because you feel like you should, because that's not right. Pick them because of the elements that we've talked about, but think about in 10 years' time, do I realistically believe that this is still going to be as good as it is? Because
Yeah.
if you can't honestly answer yes to that, in 10 years' time, you're going to look back at images, videos, everything, and this person is going to be a sour element in that memory. And that's sad. So
Yeah.
if there's any glimmer, you know, and your gut instinct will tell you,
If there's any shimmer of a doubt, yeah.
yes, then adjust quick. And you don't have to do it brutally. It doesn't have to be nasty. You can come up with reasons. You know, I'm really sorry, but I'm cutting down the numbers. I'm really sorry, but actually, this other person, that you know, this has to happen this way to make this day work. But I would you give a reading? Would you give a speech? Could you be
Oh,
the MC?
yeah.
Could you have another part to play? Please, is that okay? And if they kick off about it, then you know you've made the right decision.
Yeah, that's the telltale.
Yeah. What, you mean you've fallen out with me because I don't want you to be a bridesmaid? Well, funny that, because ta da! You've just proved my point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thinking about that longevity, like
You could
where,
even say about the timings on the day. You know,
yeah,
quite there's a lot to squeeze in those few hours before the ceremony in the morning. And
yeah,
sometimes there just isn't enough time for everyone. Sometimes you can team up and work with other suppliers to make things quicker, but sometimes it just doesn't work out and numbers do need to be cut down.
yeah. Another good excuse, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
um, haven't got long left, so I'm going to fire a couple of questions at you, if that's okay.
Okay.
What's the most helpful thing that you've seen at a wedding?
I think it's less of like a physical thing that I've seen and more of just people being mindful and someone being aware and looking out for the person whose wedding it is and is just being like, oh, okay, I can see that, like I was saying before, you know, I can see that they've gone into themselves a bit. Okay, are they going to bring them out? Brilliant. Can you keep offering them a glass of water? Have they had something to eat? Quite often, all these nerves, you don't want to eat anything, but you need to. Because by the time the
Yeah.
ceremony's finished, you will be starving and it's still going to be another 2 to 3 hours wait for the
Or
wedding
a
first.
bit blimmin'
And then,
tipsy, because
yeah, oh,
hitting
a
the
bit Dutch
fizz in the
courage. Yeah,
morning, fizz in the morning with no breakfast. Come on,
I
be
know.
cleverer. Yeah.
I know. Exactly.
Yeah. So who is looking out for them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the worst scenario you've seen? What's the worst thing?
It all just comes from, you know, being mindful of who you're going to have around you on your day. And if you're going to, you know, broadcast or let people know, especially if it's a hotel wedding, but let people know, okay, you know, this is my room number. Oh, yeah, sure, you can pop in and say hi in the morning, no problem. Or maybe that person might take it upon themselves to go and ask the wedding planner or whoever it is, well, what room can I find this person in? I just need to drop something off. I just need to do this. And the second they actually come in the room, the atmosphere changes. They've got their own problems that they've had to deal with this morning. And they're then making it all about them and saying, oh, well, this person, this, and oh, and this person's forgotten this. And I can't believe
they're
this.
going, get out.
Like, stop. Please stop. Why are you bringing this into the room?
Yeah.
Right?
Wrong place, wrong time.
What can be done about this scenario
Zip it.
that's going to change things? No.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Not helpful. Keep your circle small. Like, just
lock the door.
Try not to have any of those moments. Yeah. Try not to have any of those moments. Don't tell people what your room number is. The people who you want to know will know your room number, right?
Yeah.
They'll know where to be.
I'll put like a guard. Like, right, bridesmaid number 1, you are on door duty.
Yes. Yeah. Or just say like, oh, I can't let you in. Someone's indecent or whatever. Blah 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 blah.
Naked bodies.
Whatever. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Sorry. Bye.
Yeah.
Shut the door. Goodbye.
Yeah. I've been in situations where there's been so many bridesmaids getting ready with the bride, especially in summer, and the room's got so hot, and the bride I have in mind, she came out with a heat rash. And I was like, right, everybody get out. I've ejected everybody from the room, opened all the windows, sat her down with a glass of fizz. Right, I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Don't talk to anybody else. Don't do it. I'm going to stand outside the door.
Chill, literally chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feeling hot and flustered. Oh, no.
No, it's not right, is it? No. That's my question to see. They weren't hard, were they?
Yeah, thank you. That was all right. So get in.
I feel like we've described a really good team there. We haven't gone much into the supplier side of things, but I think it's still very similar. There are a lot of traits there to spread out. Photographers are in your face. Yeah. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for
Thank you. It's been lovely.
Your insights. Good luck with the rebranding. And awesome. So the next podcast is all about venue. Big topic. So it's one of probably many, because that's huge. But yeah. Thanks for listening. Join us again another time. Thanks so much, Felicity. Hopefully I will see you face to face soon.
Yes, I'll look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you. If you would like some further advice or help, or more information on Weddings by Annabel, or would like to be involved in the podcast, then email us via the website weddingsbyannabel.co.uk or find us on Instagram, Facebook or LinkedIn. Okay, bye.